One project.
And book one.
Yeah, but I've got this one.
Sorry.
The first one is
And the other two.
Because of all the interventions happening.
I see that. I saw that. Yeah.
National park.
National Park.
And
Close with National Park.
the people come and all
Setting is
like Castro, but by the climate
Even they build some pond, yeah, and they make the terrace. It is some evidence.
for some
But the thing is, you cannot draw a clear-cut line between forest and agricultural field. These are, if you take a landscape approach.
Adaptation strategies if it gets clearer what is used for how.
I have observed many of the everything.
I can remember is
CF is very important because it will enable the community to organize themselves so that they can
Not only the farming, but technically supporting from the organization and some.
There was no C and today there is no F. I see the community. I'm not sure if it's
No, I mean, see, I know if it's, I mean,
But I am
I don't
aligned
agree
with
with
you.
that statement at all. So that's a different discussion altogether.
it's always in general when we write something that different sectors should inject to
this forest just stays here. So I guess the CF remains the ability to decide.
the alternative.
so predictive.
Okay, if you don't see, you can see one there.
Leader of opposition.
Support. Oh my God.
Supporter.
To make the debate more lively, you have to decide who will be the note taker. And the note taker will stand there. I like the bullet point here to ensure that we talk about this. Meaning that you have to be very clear on the argument that you like to make. Okay? Put more analysis on the argument. Validities of the evidence. You can use the evidence from your own experience or the evidence that you found from yesterday. Yeah? And then the conclusion. So how can you conclude? How would you like to conclude your argument? One by one, point by point, or the story? How well you can be creative enough to convince another?
First is that there is no scientific proof. CF is the most team.
We'll start with the kick-off statement.
Yes.
And then the opposing team will also make a kick-off statement. And then follow.
But you can try with the second as well.
Community for actually through plans.
It's only in a small scale or portion in the approach. And the third one is the limitations of CF.
So it's and we would also mention the institutions. Community forestry.
Can we list there are two emerging
There's no problems.
you get your benefit immediately or you get
Right.
maybe they can propose
Like that because of the
downstream. They have communal forest, no?
Family forest, we call it.
They have
They have family forest?
Yeah.
I think it's not committee for it because other person cannot get any benefit.
science test. I cannot name any neighbors either.
What needs to be done to adapt to climate change?
It's misunderstood by what we define as sustainable, something like that, in the approach in climate change adaptation.
Income for the forest is very little compared to other sources of income like agriculture.
I think one of the good things to say is that after several failures,
He is losing his older.
Elaborate. Second, elaborate.
Note taker. It's okay from that side. Okay.
We're not discussing both the legalized and non-legalized, the formal and informal. We're talking about any sort of community involvement in the decision-making process management in the forest sector. When thinking of why should local communities be involved in forestry management when it comes to climate change adaptation, we understand that there are other experts in fields, the private sector, government, all play a large role. However, on-the-ground community forestry is more able to adapt to changing situations, especially climate change.
The academe, you see the private sector, you see the government. There are limitations of community forestries, and every site is different depending on the context, on the social, on the political, and economic context of a particular place.
Or even shorter, actually. 3 minutes only.
To the communities. This is my first question you must answer. If your opposition teams say no, any proven the significant helps for to support
the community forestry is only small sector. You can see that we have another form of the forest management is like step money to protect the forest, but what do they get?
Also by using the existing institution and small areas.
Fruit farming and fish farming. And I would like to ask you to elaborate a little bit. Like, can you provide some evidence?
For the other approach that most effective in your view in the forest sector, because we're talking about forest sector. I heard that you mentioned about the landscape management, the many sector, many multi-stakeholder,
and somehow not that like less benefits. So can you elaborate more on that?
Okay, good. Okay.
To oppose team, then I want you to elaborate on the constraints that, because you said that it's not proven, so please elaborate further.
Both you mentioned about the scientific proof, but you did not provide us some evidence. If you give more some evidence that is it.
As shown by the global study on the contribution of forest rainfall causing decrease in crop yield, community forest
is a way for communities to work together to protect their natural resources and at the same time bring long-lasting benefits to the
But in the reality, we all know that in many instances, it actually, even within the communities, for some of those people who are not part of the community forestry committees, which
very good, very good.
So,
wow.
The scale is from 0 to 10.
Yeah.
So everyone get 8 points.
Oh, very precise.
Very precise. Sorry. I'm even nervous to announce it.
Be sure you are neutral, yeah?
I'm very much neutral. So I'm very much neutral because you have 2 persons, so just very neutral. So in terms of conclusions,
come on.
Come on, okay, may I invite you? Congratulations! Okay, Well, I assume that we learned a lot from this exercise.